Hey, seventh grade. So our learning target for today is that I can add integers. So we're going to talk about how do we add integers. We'll be on page 14 for our work today. All right, so we have two different ways that we can add integers. We've already talked about the positive negative coin chart. So maybe I'll actually start with method 2 since we've had some experience with that already. So in our positive negative coin chart, we know that we can take our positive coins, think of it like a bank, and we can think of our negative coins as we're taking money out of the bank. So we have a positive 3, 1, 2, 3. We have a negative 2, negative 2. How does that relationship work? Well, we have $3 in the bank. We're trying to take 2 out. So we take 1, we have 1 in the bank, take 1 out, they cancel. Another in the bank, try to take that out, it cancels, leaving us with a positive 1. So we'd end up with $1 in the bank. All right, so how does that work on the number line? Well, we've already talked about that, so it's a little bit of a review today on just working through our integers. So we have a situation of we have 3 plus negative 2. Of course, we start at 0, the origin. We just talked about this yesterday, so this is a little bit of a warm-up. We're going to go positive 3 in the positive direction, which is where the elevator is located. We're going to take our whole body, we're going to turn around and come back negative 2. So we're going to stop there, coming back negative 2. Our finishing position then is at positive 1. So you can see that in both scenarios, our finishing position was at positive 1. That's kind of the key. All right, so just a quick review kind of what we've been doing, and then we're going to switch it up and talk about how would we add integers without modeling it in some way. So we have this situation here where we're going to walk the number line. Let's start with that. We start at 0. Our first movement is to go find the elevator. It's at negative 1. Then we're going to stop and make a decision on what do we do next. We're going to continue to go 3 in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3 in the negative direction. So our finishing position then is at negative 4. So we have negative 4 as our finishing position. We should have the exact same thing happen there over on our positive negative coin chart. So positive is money in the bank. And we have our negatives, we're withdrawing money out. We should end up with a negative 4 over here too if we've done it correctly. So we don't have any positives actually in this chart at all, but we do have some negatives. We have negative 1 and negative 3. So our relationship then is that we end up with negative 4 coins in our chart. All right, guys, so one last time before we talk about really the real way of thinking of money in the bank. So our last scenario here was that we're going to start at 0. We're going to go find that elevator. It's at negative 5. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to stop and make a decision. And we're going to come back positive 2, which leaves us with the finishing position of negative 3. Negative 3. All right. And our last chart here, then we have negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positive 2. So we have $2 in the bank. We're taking 5 out. So we have those cancel, and we're left with negative 3. So we have a situation of negative 3, whether we model it in a number line. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. And negative 5 plus 2 and a positive negative coin chart is negative 3. All right, let's switch it up now. So we've talked about that. What are we going to do with our work today? Well, we're going to talk about that all positive integers is money in the bank. All positive integers is money in the bank. Negative integers is money that you owe or that you have to pay. So here we go. Our first example is negative 9. Well, negative 9 is that you owe 9. And you owe 3. Negative 9, I owe 9. And negative 3 is I owe 3, because negative numbers I owe, positive numbers I have in the bank. So if I owe 9 and I owe 3, altogether I owe 12. How does that look mathematically? It looks like negative 12. Take a look at that and feel like you are good to go with that. All right, moving on then. So our next example then would be this. So we have this 10 right here. It's positive, which means I have $10 in the bank. So I might just even use a dollar sign there to represent that. Then I have this negative 12, which means I owe $12 or negative 12. So if I have 10 and I owe 12, just thinking about this now, I have 10 in my bank. I owe 12. Do I have enough to pay? If I have 10 in the bank, is it possible for me to take 12 out of the bank? You should say, well, no, I can take 10 out of the bank, but I cannot take 12 out. So altogether, I still owe $2. We would represent that as -2, owing 2. All right, guys, one more example down there. Let's see how you're doing. Our first number is -17, which means I owe $17 because it's negative. My second number is +30, which means I have 30 in the bank. So let's draw a picture of what's going on here. I have $30 in my bank. I'm trying to take 17 out. Can I take 17 out of a bank where I owe 30? Is it possible to do that? Yeah, I can. I can take $17 out of a bank that I owe 30. Altogether, then I still have $13 left in the bank, +13. So that's what we would call method 3. So we've seen number line, we've seen positive negative coin chart, and we've seen just really thinking about it in terms of money, having money, owing money. All right, so page 15. I think on page 15, yeah, let's keep plugging through a few of these. So on our number line then, we are going to start at 0. We're going to move to the elevator, which is located at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to stop. We're going to turn around, and we're going to come back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our finishing position is at +2. Go ahead and check that out. Make sure you're in good shape for that. All right, we're going to do that same thing on the coin chart. All right, so on the coin chart, we have +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remember, whoops, I think I did too many there. Let me go ahead and erase one of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looking good. All right, so this is our bank. We have $6 in that bank. What happens if we want to take $4 out of the bank? 1, 2, 3, $4 out of the bank? The result then, those cancel, those cancel, those cancel, those cancel, is +$2 left in the bank. +2. So we have $2 left. All right, guys. So for example 2, let's take a look at this. So we're going to go find that elevator. It's at -1. Remember, our starting position there is at the origin. We're going to go -1. And then we're going to continue moving 5 more. We're going to stop and move 5 more negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more negative. My finishing position then is at -6. Go ahead and take a look at that. Make sure you're feeling good about what's going on there. We better be able to get -6 over here with example 2 in the coin chart as well. Looking at this coin chart, positive means there's money in the bank. Negative means we're taking it out. In this particular case, it doesn't look like we have any money in the bank. We have 1 negative there and then 5 more. So we have a total of what looks like 6 negatives. We don't have any money at all. All right, guys, so just a quick reminder that positive integers are money in the bank. So we're going to draw that little bank every time, thinking about it. And the negative integers means that we're taking it out of the bank. So we're in the red or taking it out. So let's look at our example down here. -15 plus -3. So we're thinking about, well, what's really going on here? Well, negative means I owe $15. And I owe $3 because they're both negatives. So if I owe 15 and I owe 3, the problem I have is there isn't any money in this bank. So I end up owing $18. And the way we would represent that is -18. We call that in the red. All right, let's keep going then. So we're almost done. We have a situation here of -31. So we owe $31. We have 11. So that's money in the bank, having 11. So I'm going to draw a picture of what this looks like. So here's my bank. It has $11 in it. I'm trying to take $31 out of the bank. I can't take $31 out of a bank that has $11 in it. I can only take out $11 because that's all that's in the bank. So altogether then I still owe $20. And the way we'd write that mathematically is -20, still owe 20. All right, guys, so what I'd like you to do right now is I'd like you to solve this bottom section. Now, if I were there right now, we'd have you raise your hand and I'd come over and check each and every one of yours. But since I'm not, I'm going to have you work through each of these on the bottom. I'll give you some time right now, and then I'm going to go over the answers. So go ahead and start working through that. Okay, guys, so taking a look at the left-hand side, you should have been thinking about, well, I have this bank. It has $6 in it, positive 6. Can I take 5 out of that bank? The answer should be, yeah, I can take 5 out of that bank. That leaves me with an answer of 1. You should have positive 1 for that first example. All right, next example, we owe 12. We owe 3, which means I owe 15. Go ahead and grade your papers here. Make sure you're doing okay. Again, I would be coming by to check your paper if I were there, but since I'm not, we're going to kind of do it this way. All right, next example. I owe 4. I have 2. So here's this bank. It has $2 in it. Can I take $4 out of a bank that has $2 in it? The answer is no. I can take $2 out, but I do not have enough money, so the answer is negative 2. All right, next example. I have $5. I owe or I have to pay 7. So I have this bank. It has 5 in it. The question is, can I take $7 out of a bank that has 5 in it? The answer is no. I still would need $2, so negative 2. All right, guys. Here we go. So we owe 15. We have 35. So we have $35 in the bank. And we're going to try to take 15 out. Can we take 15 out of a bank that has $35 in it? Yeah, you bet we can. Is there any money left? Yes. The answer should be 20 positive dollars left. All right, our next example is I have 28. I owe 30. So we have this bank that has $28 in it, and I'm trying to take 30 out. Can I take 30 out of a bank that has $20 in it? Yeah, sure I can. I can take $28 out, but I still need $2, so I'm short negative $2 should be your answer there. All right, 2 left, and then we're moving to homework. All right, this next example here, we have $45 in the bank. I'm kind of running out of room, so I'm not going to draw a bank there. And I'm trying to take out or pay 12. So I have 45, trying to pay 12. Yeah, I can take $12 out of a bank that has 45 in it. What's left then? You should have said $33 are left in that bank. Okay, last example then. For this last example, we're going to combine 2 at a time. $3 and $4, that should be easy math for us there, is $7 in the bank. We'll just start with that. We'll just chunk it into little pieces, plus negative 3. So what's going on here is I have this bank. It has $7 in it. Can I take $3 out of a bank that has $7 in it? Yeah, I can take $3 out of a bank with 7 in it. Is there any money left? Yeah, $4 left in the bank. Awesome. Okay, your job then for tonight's homework is to finish the adding integers on page 16 and 17 due tomorrow. Have a fabulous night, 7th grade.